Hi there. Let's start with a bit of background and then go on to what's in the book and what it's saying. Let's try and adjust this camera so I can actually look at you. So let me introduce Jim Cowan, the doer. My work over 40 years has given me a very real-world experience of how Britain is created across the country. I had a first encounter with community development in the early 70s and sensed it offered a consciousness far ahead of the mainstream culture, that people could grow their own power by developing really detailed ways to challenge a status quo and move forward together. And it didn't need bosses, and the power to make something happen could realistically be shared, and what would be done would work better. When you work every day with people inside public services, people in communities, you see how the country works from the ground up and through the eyes of all the people you're working with, and you experience the ongoing, sort of all-pervasive influence of government. You experience firsthand how things are developing across the country, decade after decade. So you further consolidate year by year a sort of unifying or more comprehensive perspective. And just by living in Britain, through family, friends, and media, experiences outside work, a more understanding of what's happening in this country. Okay, so much for the doer. So let me introduce the academic in me, the thinking side. I've acquired 5 degrees, amazingly, including a PhD, mostly while doing the day job. So it's kind of like an itch to understand what's going on, and not just from multiple perspectives, but to kind of consolidate all that into a kind of overall view. So this is an unusual book because it isn't just about thinking and doing. It's also about being. Like a lot of Britain today, people in Britain today, a lot of people are really focused on how they are, how they're living, what life is like for them, their being. So for me, for the last 40 years, I've been practicing a socially engaged form of Buddhism. In other words, a kind of Buddhism that is really very much about realities, changing realities, changing oneself, changing realities. This has enabled me to cultivate quite a high state of life, which is in all of us. It's sort of like the awakened heart of the living universe pulsing inside each of us. And when it's activated, we experience that connectedness with all of life in daily life. Life gets better, reflecting our inner change. So, this concept of potential, as in this title, The Britain Potential, it came into focus with the third rewrite, enabling me to write this being, thinking and doing of Britain. And then Frederick Laloux's Reinventing Organisations convinced me potential was the thing to go with, and he introduced me to Ken Wilber's Colour-Coded Consciousnesses. And the fourth rewrite almost wrote itself. So, what is in the book? What's it saying?